Greetings everyone, welcome aboard. Happy Monday to you guys. March 14th, 2011. Another week in the trade room underway. Now we had a pretty good day today, but we definitely had our fair share of challenges. Now it's a Monday morning here. Lots of reasons to expect a rough morning. We had daylight savings time, right? That means on Saturday we rolled forward here in the US, but other places in the world it didn't change times. So we had daylight savings time well, obviously on Saturday night. We had quadruple witching, which means 4 times a year, 4 different asset classes are all expiring all around this options expiration week. We also had, unfortunately, the earthquake in Japan over the weekend, happened on Friday, and we had to assume this morning that a lot of traders were still very much distracted by things that were going on with that earthquake. We also have here in the U.S., I know it's nothing compared to the earthquake in Japan, but we have spring break here in the U.S. So you've got college kids, high school kids, grade school kids are all out of school this week. And as you can expect, a lot of their parents, I'm sure, will be taking vacations. So people are not in the markets because of spring break. We also, if you want to keep tossing on more reasons here, we also had contract rollover, which meant the dollar, right? The big equity markets, right? The S&P, the NASDAQ, the Russell, the Dow, all of them rolling forward. Don't forget about the currencies, right? The Euro, the CAD, the Aussie, the Yen. These are all rolling forward today. All right, guys, so we had contract rollover today, and then there was one more thing that they just couldn't help, right? They couldn't help but had to give us something more to look at, and that was, of course, this morning. If you opened up your NinjaTrader charts this morning, you saw that pop-up that came up that we've now taken the beta version of 7.4 right now is the final version. So we had a lot of distractions this morning, whether it be daylight savings time, quadruple witching, right, the earthquake last week, spring break, contract rollover, and of course, right, we also have to worry about that new software release that came out today. So this morning we had a lot of things to worry about right away. And guys, I want to make a really big point right away today. Looking back through my notes, and of course I take really detailed notes for you guys, and looking back over my notes this morning, I quickly realized something that I did years ago as a rookie trader, and I made the same mistake this morning. Do you guys remember what it was? Want to know what it was? Well, I wasn't expecting much today, and therefore I wasn't prepared. Right? Now let's think about how this happens. Now on most days we've got lots of expectations, right? So I'm ready. I've got all my charts done. I've got my mental prep, my technical prep, and we are ready 8 o'clock. But what happened this morning, though, right, this was that classic example of not expecting too much in the markets. And because of that, I wasn't as fast-paced this morning getting myself ready to go. Right? Remember how it went this morning? This morning, we took a lot of time this morning, again, because we didn't expect to get really anything out of these markets today because of the obvious reasons we went over. I began this morning really taking a lot of time to show you guys, right, how I went over my slow time frames, my medium time frames, my fast time frames. But what ended up happening was that by the time these trades started really working for us this morning at 9 o'clock, I wasn't all the way done my morning prep. And this was a good example this morning of what not to do, right? If there's one thing I want you guys to learn from today's price action or today's trading, all right, we had a tough time. But the majority of the reason why it was so difficult was because I wasn't ready to go, right? I wasn't expecting very much. Therefore, I took my sweet time to get ready for this morning, and then before I knew it, we had some wave patterns on crude that I put us into on the fast track for a loss. And what really kind of frustrated me today was I could have easily avoided those 2 losses. So we had a lot of distractions early this morning. I didn't expect much, so I didn't aggressively prepare for the day, and that cost us some money today. All right, guys. And again, I'm sorry about that, right? I will take full responsibility for this one, and I'm going to make sure in the future here, guys, that never happens again. All right, but basically, we saw some great price action from 8 o'clock to 9 o'clock. We got a nice trade there at 9 o'clock, all right, but the problem was we then started seeing crude around the 100 level, and we started seeing a really different change in personality. Then at about 9:30, right, at about 9:45, 10 o'clock, we get those 2 fast track trades. But I missed a very easy to find area that, again, I just simply wasn't ready for it. So we ended up buying at the highs when I should have been selling at the highs. We ended up getting into trades. when I should have been aware of other levels above and below me that I simply hadn't gotten to yet. So expecting nothing, what should I do tomorrow? I'm not expecting much all week, but that might be the best reason why you've got to be here on time, doing your work like you always do, expecting a huge day. And then the worst case scenario is nothing happens like we saw today and we have to sit on our hands and wait around. Okay, think of the good and the bad, right? The downside is if I don't get my stuff ready, I'm going to either miss a trade or take the wrong trade. I would rather come in tomorrow morning, get everything ready to go, and then if the market doesn't move in our direction, well, so be it. At least we're not worried about missing a trade or taking the wrong trade, right? That's the key. So I look over my notes today, and of course, the first thing I realize is, right, I owe my clients an apology. I was underprepared for this morning, which put us in the wrong trades. And you know what, guys? I'm a day trader. The first thing I have to do is look right in the mirror, right, and the fault falls on me, right? Every trader makes his own decisions to take trades. Now, we had given you guys a lot of reasons why we should be careful today, all right? But I missed it, right? I missed it. So we took 2 fast track losses. That's what resulted in those 2 losses. I didn't see the top of a price channel. I tried to trade into it, right? Once, twice. And again, could have easily been avoided by simply doing my morning prep. Now, this is something I am not going to make this mistake for a very, very long time. So we missed a very easy price channel. I wasn't prepared for it, right? And because of that, we got 2 losses on it. Now, we'll show you guys where those trades came, but we actually did have some winning trades on the advanced method today. It was just that fast track, right? The fast track, it's a specific entry, specific stop, and a specific target. Sometimes the markets are too whippy, and that was exactly what happened this morning here on the fast track trades. Nothing on gold today, though. Very sloppy and sideways on gold, most likely tied to that dollar. So kind of the story of the day today was, right, I did to myself, right? I could have easily made this day much better for the fast track, could have easily made this day a lot easier to trade if I would have just done exactly what I do every day and not try to think outside too much, right? I was thinking, well, we're probably not going to get much, right? Not much opportunity today, so I can probably take my time. It should have been the exact opposite, right? It should have been, we're not sure what's going to happen today, so let's make sure we get all of our prep work done early, right? That's what I have to remember for tomorrow.